Wait a minute. You know what, John Kelly?
Yes, Greg.
Nice to see you.
Nice to see you too, my friend.
Thanks so much for bringing this delightful creature to us here in the Wildwood lair.
It was my pleasure.
Of course, we had to blindfold John. It was one of those sacks kind of a thing, so we wouldn't know where we're at, because this is a secret underground facility. A lot of people don't know that.
No, and I didn't believe it until actually being brought in with a bag over my head.
Yes. Some people are into that, but
Well,
we won't get into that's not this kind of video.
No,
okay?
sir.
Now, I had the good pleasure of being in beautiful Denmark about a month ago, and got to play through this very creature. And I got to tell you, there's something about playing through a tape delay that it's a four-dimensional experience. You just get lost. You can just have it on. You're like, oh, I mean, pedal delays are great, and certainly T-Rex makes some great ones. I've had the Reptile and the Replica.
Replica.
On my pedal board in Europe forever. And I use kind of the Reptile is more of kind of a tap tempo. Actually, well, yeah, it's like that's got the tap tempo on it.
They're both tap tempo.
Okay. And the other one's got kind of the more of the pseudo digital tape delay type of situation. And it sounds great.
Correct. The Reptile has the modulation effect added to it.
Thank you very much.
Certainly.
He rectified my reptilian and replica, reptile. There's a lot of R's going on here. There's a lot of alliteration with R's. And adding to that soup is this Replicator. And this one is so unusual in the fact that you get the warmth and the succulence and the wow and flutter and all those glorious things you get with tape delay, but in a smaller package. You got this enclosure here, and because I've had echoplexes over the years, and I am just not the technical dude. I'm not the MacGyver. It's like when things go bad, I just go, get me another one, because I just don't want to go in there and start messing around. Kind of the thing with having 4 kids. Your gumption for going, hey, let's take that thing apart, kind of goes by the wayside.
Agreed.
And so where this one attracted me so much is that all the glorious advantages you get to a tape delay, but this little cartridge thing where you just pop it in and you can't get in there and screw it up, but a very simple adjustment as well that you don't have to be MacGyver to figure out. This particular device is kind of all of the advantages of the sounds of tape delay with none of that kind of technical caca that you run into. Of course, that's a technical term.
Right.
But then you have cool things like the fact that there's a tap tempo on board, which defies comprehension. So why don't we start there? What did T-Rex have to do, or what did they come up with to be able to have a tap tempo and have that chorus, that wow and flutter thing happening without, it just kind of defies comprehension with an old school tape delay.
Right, and that's really the magic behind the box. The challenge was to incorporate modern technology into a classic tape delay in order to make it functional for the way that we're become used to using delays via the incredible stomp boxes that you've already mentioned.
Indeed.
So what T-Rex had to do was they actually developed a direct drive motor that they can control with a computer chip. So while sonically the unit is completely analog, that computer chip controlling that direct drive motor allows them to do all of the things that a modern digital effects box would do. The T-Rex guys would tell you this as well. The challenge of a tape delay has been out there for a number of years for them, and the desire to sort of up their game has been something that's been on their minds for a while. And in tinkering around and noodling along with their regular course of business, they would come up with this sort of thing, or find this supplier, or be able to put these things together. And about 16 months ago, all of that just came together, in which to a point where they could actually conceive of this machine. And the challenge then that they took on was to create that holy grail of tape delay sound in a modern performance unit that people who have grown up with nothing but a digital box to look at in their lives could get their heads around. Despite all of the moving parts and the extremely sophisticated engineering that went behind creating this, it still had to be something that could function for a modern guitar player who did not have the experience of echoplexes and space echoes and all of those things behind them their whole lives.
Absolutely. Functionality-wise, as soon as I found out that it sounded right, which was, of course, the main thing, right? It's like, oh my God, it sounds like it should. And then the first thing I said to Michael at T-Rex, I said, what's the deal with the tape? Do I have to worry about needling it? He's like, no, it's a cartridge. All you gotta do is pop it out and pop the other one in. And my next question is, how long does it last? And he says, oh, it lasts about a good year. I'm like, excellent. And then it's like, well, what about, cleaning the heads and all? He's like, no. You pop that thing in, you adjust it down here. You got a tap tempo. They got the chorus thing. You adjust the wow and flutter very, very easily. I was like, oh my God, this is the tape echo of doom, especially for the person that does not want to futz around. And let's just talk about, too, the fact that it's smaller in real estate than the massive Echoplex experience.
Correct. Again, they really wanted to develop something that would be usable on a day-to-day basis on a pedal board. And again, that motor takes away a lot of the extraneous moving parts that the old Echoplexes had and that plagued the old Echoplexes in their functionality.
Now let's go through the controls here. For that opening thing, I purposely had the delay on heavy, and I had the chorus on, which is the kind of the wow and flutter, if you will. But it's true bypass.
It is true bypass.
But there's the saturation control, so you can kind of set it so when you lean into it, so the light just goes on is kind of where you want it for it's an input gain, basically.
It's exactly an input gain.
And then we can take the master volume and control that. So here's just the straight tone without the delay on. Hit the boost that level up a little bit if I want.
Up to 8 dB.
I'll take the delay level down just a little bit. Now, if I hit this head control, that just changes, so it has multiple tape heads.
Correct, 2 playback heads.
And so we go from this sound, which is the green mode, if you will, to the red.
So the red head is exactly halfway
which
as
is
far
perfect.
away from the playback head. I'm sorry, the record head as the green head. So you're able to have that delay time by switching to the red head.
Which is what I usually do anyways, my 2 different delays. I have one going on. Get that slap backy thing.
And that's a combination of the 2 heads, which gives you a much more interesting rhythmic
Oh,
playback.
I got you. So there's 3 modes.
3 modes, correct.
Okay, so here's green. And here is red. Here's the combination, which is kind of like maniacal. That's beautiful. I put a little BB preamp on there to get a little bit of paste while we're at it here. So, and now I can add to that chorus to any of these settings as well. Delicious.
And exactly like the tap tempo, the chorus is true analog chorus, and it's controlled by the tape speed. Again, that direct drive motor actually making slight adjustments in the speed of the tape to create that flutter.
Awesome. So let's go to that green mode here and then try to just do a little bit of the tap tempo. Yeah! I'll tell you what, everything you love about a tape delay without all the crap you don't like about the tape delays. It's the craziest thing ever. Let's see that little carrying case. Can we see that? This thing is sexy as the day is long. Look at this little satchel. Woo! Let's talk a little bit about the power for it. So if you got your pedal board lurking, let's just talk about some of the ins and outs of what we can do with it. So it has its proprietary power source, but what if you lose it or whatever the case may be? Can you?
It's 24 volt requirement, so any power supply with 12 volt capability and a voltage doubler cable will run it just fine.
Pow. The controls on the out. You've got something, you got the input.
There are two inputs on the back for control of the delay time and the feedback control. You can control both of those functions with standard expression pedals.
Excellent.
So on the fly, on your board, you can adjust all of that.
Which is super cool. Mm-hmm. You can get all kinds of crazy. You can start conjuring up the sounds of both the night and of the day.
Yes, you can.
And of Mordor. If that's how you like to roll.
If that's how you roll.
We often mention Mordor here in the lair. It's kind of a thing. What else we got on board here? We've got, so you got the feedback, you got the speed.
You have the kill dry switch.
Yeah, there we go.
Which eliminates your input signal so that all you hear is the tape.
I like that.
Like that.
It's almost like I'm tripping. Not that I know what that's like.
No. The physics of the tape moving across the heads, it just creates something that you can't get anywhere else. They ship with 2 cassettes with standard chrome 1/8" BASF tape.
Excellent. And you were talking earlier about the adjustments for it. So when you need to adjust it, or how about cleaning the heads, all that kind of stuff?
Right. It's a very simple procedure, which is one of the beautiful things about this unit. 2 thumb screws. And off
Bada
lifts
bing.
the top. And you have the internal workings. To change the tape, a 3rd thumb screw. Remove the head. Whoops.
Pull that down. Pop this up. I can even do that.
I'm on an angle, so I can't see my peg.
That's all right. Just there you go.
Drop it right back in.
Easy enough.
And that is it. And then the main adjustment that you would have to do when replacing the tape cartridge is the contact point for the heads, and that's a simple manipulation of that screw.
Of that little thing right there.
That little screw right there dials the heads up and down to get the contact points you want to eliminate the flutter that you don't want.
Oh, so depending on how much or little flutter you want, other than with the chorus control.
Right. A ideally adjusted machine will have the playback signal just be completely clean.
Got it. So you can kind of toy with how much you want to be in there.
Exactly.
That is fantastic. How glorious is that?
It is very glorious.
The music industry, just when you think everything has been done, you know what I'm saying? Out comes something that takes the original kind of grail, although fraught with its idiosyncrasies, one of the holy grail tone things, and be able to use modern technology to get the analog excellence but have modern convenience. I think it's fantastic.
Right. And from a product standpoint, I mean, there's a lot of option out there. So if you don't have something that's either better or cheaper or completely different or, God willing, a combination of the three, it's a challenging market. And I think T-Rex has hit it out of the park with providing a product that has all three of those components.
Now, can we just talk about the map pricing and what that is?
Certainly, it's going to street price for $899. So, and that includes the unit, the carrying case, and 2 chrome tape cassettes, and of course the power supply as well.
So basically 2 years worth of tape.
Yep.
And all the other accoutrements that you need. And you can pop it on your pedal board, doesn't take a whole lot of real estate, and all the glorious things. You might find yourself in a situation where all your other delay pedals go bye-bye.
You might.
You're just using this.
You might.
That's fantastic. Well, thanks so much for stopping in here and showing us this glorious device. And ladies and gentlemen, we're going to have them here at Wildwood Guitars, and I can't wait to get my hands on one of these my own self. So thanks for tuning in here on Wildwood Vision in the Tone Cave of Doom. Gregory Koch with John Kelly from T-Rex. We'll see you cats later.
Till next time.